Thank you for this question. But I was hoping for this come to at the last of the end of the session. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the data for the children aging between 9 to 14 years, almost every kid in India is spending 3 hours online.
Wow.
So the definition of addiction is begins at 5 hours. So if you're using mobile for more than 5 hours, you're addicted. Okay, so the children between 9 to 17 years, they're already in 3 hours. Have you thought children below 1 year, how much time they are spending on phone? Below 1 year.
खाना नहीं खाते हैं without rhymes.
So,
without rhymes खाना नहीं खाते बच्चे आजकल.
For a psychiatrist like me, if someone asks, that advise it should not begin before 3 years. Okay, it should start after 3 and maybe starting with half an hour. But if the child is taking to eat half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the dinner, 1 hour is before 1 year. Right? So it's a grave issue. It's a grave issue in children. No child is eating without phone. Right? So the advice to the parents that we give, which is practically possible if we say, it's not possible ki dena hi nahi hai. No, it's not possible. But what we give first and foremost is, do not give phone. Give bigger screens. If you want them to see, at least eyes ne nukshan na thaye wo kariye. Right? So use bigger screens. Limit, number of channels or the number of online platforms that they are using. Keep watching content. कि क्या देख रहे हैं? Are they seeing something which can be violent? Are they seeing something which can be porn also? So keep watch on that, what they are seeing. In a COVID era, when the children were doing completely online education, we were advising them, parents to take out a time and sit with them. What they are they actually studying? So these are the practical things that we give them for the children. There are few games, family games, which is very difficult. I see ki it is easy to say ki family time spend karo, family games khelo, but it's not possible in this era. It should be done. It should ideally be done. What most of the people now have started following is that at least one meal in a day, mobile should not be allowed. There should be one space in a home where phone is not allowed. Like if you're doing a puja, are you using phone while you're doing puja? No, many people do.
YouTube पे गाने कैसे बजाएंगे वरना?
So for doing puja, while eating food, going to a toilet, many people take phone with that. So these are the things which are very primarily where phone can be avoided. And if you be a role model, then only it is possible to detox children out of digital platforms.
I guess before children, parents need to start detoxing. Because she keep on asking when we are having morning tea, she said, Papa, dining table phone nahi chahiye, aapne sikhaya hai. And sometimes I need to take call or sometimes I need to do some activity while having a tea. So I can totally relate. Or I guess we as a elder, we should start adopting this habit before children. Nadeem, I'm coming to you as you have global business. So 2-3 time zone rahenge or you need to be active digitally very hectically. So how you manage all the things? Is there any tools, techniques you are using to balance out digital detox ho paye, time come jaye digital platform pe, etc. So your thoughts on that?
Okay. So first of all, good evening everyone. So my business is not dependent so much on digital platform because it's more a brick and mortar business which I am doing. I am a producer of spices. I export. So mine is more. I need just a presence, and presence where I create a brand salience around myself as a thought leader on a specific topic. Plus, I inform about my brand. So for in that case, my detoxing becomes very easy, where I only focus on subject which I am good at, बिकॉज सोशल मीडिया क्या है, वो आपको प्लेटफॉर्म देता है वेयर यू आर टेम्पटेड टू टॉक ऑन everything under the sun, and then it leads to a conversation where you find yourself in a soup where you don't know how to react, and then that goes out of your hand. So normally I try talking on subjects I know. I'm more branding, marketing, entrepreneurship, retail. So I share these insights, and when I feel that so there is some in the comment section, if someone has entered, because you will find there are experts and then there are super experts, and they might take your conversation to other side, I pull out and I don't respond. And this is that detox I try to do, and I have learned it over the period of time. I'm not saying I was expert, I used to get carried away, but now, so this detox I do periodically, right?
You are saying like that meme, बुलाती है जाने का नहीं.
हाँ, बुलाती है जाना करें, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो आपको याद रखना चाहिए एक्चुअली.
Right.
तो बोला हो जाएगा, राइट.
Kumar, I'm coming to you. So we seen you tweeting like anything. So Kumar comes for a tea at my office many times. और चाय रख के टक टक टक, मैंने कुमार मिलने आया है. So हाँ, चाय पीने आया है. So but कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है मैं कुमार को ट्वीट से, I mean within the same office में बोलूँ कुमार बात करना है ऐसा. So he used to do, I guess, 400-500 tweets a day. बहुत सारी फाइट भी किया like नदीम भाई से. He carried away. Sometimes we seen him. So how you try to control yourself? How you try to detoxing yourself to still 100 is tweet too many for many of in audience, but still how you are managing those things? भावना पे कैसे काबू रखते हैं?
How many Twitter user here? If they can raise their hand. How many active Twitter user here? Acha, only 1, 2. Acha, 2, 3. Yes. So again, digital detoxification is the new buzzword, and this is because the kind of a time we are spending. We don't realize how many people you use Android or iOS have ever gone and checked how many hours you are spending on your mobile phone. Cool. How many spend more than 4 hours? 5 hours? 6 hours? 7 hours? 8 hours? 9 hours? 8 hours. Cool. Fantastic. So I was one of them who was spending almost more than 6 hours on my mobile phone. And this feature got activated by my wife, my partner, because she realized, okay, I'm spending a lot of time. And then she put all these notifications. So when I cross a limit, the notification comes that, okay, you have crossed this many number of tweets, this many time limit, and you have to reduce it. So this was an example, also a small nudge, because I do a lot of work on social behavior change. So sometimes we also require a lot of nudges, and nudges there to understand why we are doing this kind of activity and this kind of engagement. Because I come from a journalism background, so always वो कीड़ा होता है लिखने का, वो रोक नहीं पाते हैं. So I left journalism, I came into the social development sector, so I continued that. But over the time, I started realizing that I was tweeting and it was not any meaningful conversation happening. And that realization really struck me, and I thought it's not about having quantity of the tweets and how I can identify certain sectors where I have certain understanding, certain expertise and knowledge, and I should start focusing on that. So in that terms, of course, I started detoxifying myself, that instead of spending in terms of number of hours, how I can reduce it and how I can focus more on the meaningful content part. So even if you see my content, so I focus a lot on road safety, on public transport, on pedestrian issues and cycling issues and climate change as such. So in that terms, of course, I have reduced my time. But this thing also has happened because there are very interesting platform also and mobile apps which really encourages you to start decreasing your usage. So mainly, for example, if you want to do their apps like Forest, Moment, Calm, all these apps which you can download on mobile phone, and this can give you nudges. So more the time we need that kind of a nudges, because if some other person will say, you will take an offense. If your partner says you will take an offense, if your friend say you might take an offense. But when mobile phone app suggests something that, okay, now you have crossed this much of limit, or you should do something else, something different. So in that ways I have started doing it. Or maybe we need something like Alcoholic Anonymous, like Digital Anonymous, Detox Anonymous. We can talk more about it, how to detoxify ourselves. Yes.
So I understand it is also शादी के side effects.
शादी के side effects, yes.
Fine. Ma'am, I'm coming to you. So you, being a practitioner, you might seen lot many cases about kids who are using a mobile too much, or they're doing tantrums if they are not getting mobiles, etc. So if you can cite some example, kind of stuff.
Yeah. So there was this kid. He was in 10th standard when he came to me with the parents. So he was so much addicted to this online games. One of them was PUBG. That at that time it was not banned. So like he was spending money from his parents. He was not studying at all. He was from home. He'll go to to the cyber cafes. He will tell parents that I'm going to school, but he will go to a gaming zone. He'll play their games there. And I don't know why this game they allow school children, even if they are coming with the school uniform, school bags, they're allowing them. They were playing, he was playing there, and he spent almost 70,000 rupees from his father's account for in a one time to purchase this and in-app things जो games के लिए होती है. He purchased, and then after that the father came to know that this is the problem, and then he was brought to us. And that was a very difficult case. It was very difficult to bring him back from that. It needed almost 6 months to bring him back to the studies. So this was one case. The another was like a 5 years old child. She was a girl. I mean, coming from a middle class family, it was not a very rich, family where everything was available. But the mother has to give her phone because she was working at some other's place. Father lost job because of COVID, so she had to work. And that child, she was so much addicted to the phone. And mother was like, majburi hai, kya kare madam. But that was also a big, problem. So there are so many such children. And for that, we had to start this digital detox center at our hospital, where we had formed an SOP that these are the things that we'll be doing with the children who come with such addictions to us.
So if you can highlight some of the pointers from SOPs.
So for adults, if we talk about, as Manish has already told, that you can keep notifications, you can limit the time on. I'll also suggest that limit the number of gadgets you are using. So if you're using, if someone is working in a digital media, it's your job. So you can keep a laptop and do not get everything on your phone. So हमारा एक आदत होता है ना, we are lazy people. We will not like to go and open the laptop and then see things. So you can come out of it. You will just impulse को आप रोक सकते हो by doing this. So limit the number of gadgets you are using. Second thing is number of apps reduce कर दीजिए. कितने social media platforms आप use कर रहे हो जो unnecessary है maybe. It's not a part of job. You feel that for my job it is necessary, but it's not that. I mean, it's not necessary कि आप हर social media पे आपका presence होना ही चाहिए. आपको जवाब देना ही पड़ेगा. Otherwise you'll lose some business or maybe some job. It's not like that. So it is our fear basically. Third thing is, as I already said, that there जो लोग online काम करते हैं, for them you can limit the hours. जैसे होता है कि most of the time it is आप उठते ही मेल का जवाब देने बैठ जाते हो. Stop doing that. Allocate time कि मैं 11 से 12 में करूँगी या फिर मैं शाम को 5 से 6 में ये काम करूँगा. उठ के ही तुरंत नहीं करना है. Because it's like alcohol. I mean, सुबह उठ के तलब लगना, it is very common for those who are addicted to alcohol. So no, but I am a psychiatrist. I do see a lot of patients. So, yeah, but so it's like, you should change the time. That will also, help to come out of those temptations. Initially it will be difficult, but then you'll set to it कि अगर आप 10 बजे ऑफिस पहुंच रहे हो तो 10 से 11 I'll see the mails, I'll reply them. अगर 1 घंटा देर हो गई तो कोई नहीं मर जाता, right? So these are the few things I'll.
So I can rhyme you things. So what practice I started last two odd years? Stop carrying laptop at home. ऑफिस में ही रहता है और ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग बिजनेस में बहुत इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ता है. ऑनेस्टली दैट इज़ माई लास्ट 2 years उतना हार्डली 5-10%. और जिसको इतना इमरजेंसी है दे कैन कॉल 100 फॉर देयर इमरजेंसी. So when I'm going vacation, so my auto replies kind of in case of emergency dial 100. We are not available. So this is, and I totally think so. Few things I need to adopt. So I did one practice. When Facebook was big thing, I deleted Facebook app from my mobile. Temptation बहुत हुआ शुरुआत में 1 हफ्ता, but eventually it settled down. So that practice, both the things I tried it, but still my screen time is still mobile
You're an
screen.
example that works.
Yeah. So still my mobile screen time is 4-5 hours a day, which is I'm planning to reduce. एक चीज़ है सर, सब एंड्रॉयड iOS दोनों में आता है डिजिटल टाइम कितना वेलबीइंग करके. सो मैंने बड़ा सा मेरा थर्ड स्क्रॉल पे रखा है, बड़ा सा ऑप्शन है, मुझे दिखता है 5 घंटा 4 घंटा 3 घंटा काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. सो वो रोज़ चुपता है. समटाइम आई फील कि पीयूष मिश्रा की तरह खुद को आई कैन स्वैम माई सेल्फ. वो करता नहीं हूँ 5 घंटे से ऊपर जाएगा तो, बट दैट इज़ द थिंग. सो नदीम भाई, कम टू यू. So many of them are entrepreneurs. So if you can give some tips like ma'am given. So you, like I said, I'm not carrying laptop. ऐसा कुछ अच्छे ideas if you can give them to.
Okay. I mean, I'll say more on how I present myself on social media rather than, because it includes detoxing also, right? So rather than saying that you should do this, you shouldn't do this, I think better experts are here. So I would talk on what I do. Now, so the idea of social media and entrepreneur ka presence or a CEO's presence on social media is to actually showcase your company in a right light, right? Because you represent your investors, your partners, and even your employees. So first thing we need to understand is we don't do what we recently saw about Ola Electric and maybe if there are certain people who come to us and saying that your brand is not doing so and so. The first thing is we need to accept, we need to try to figure out why XYZ is saying so, come up with a solution and give him a solution online, or else ask him that our customer service would get in touch with you. That is the only way we need to present ourselves, number one. All right. Second, every platform might not align with your personality. Now, and every platform has a different characteristics. For example, Twitter is designed to be political. Now, if a CEO of a brand is talking on Twitter, he will get mud. In fact, Kumar asked me to leave Twitter. And I left Twitter. Because whenever I used to write a thread on brand communication and all, I never got a good response on Twitter. When I would talk about politics, it would become viral. So our tendency is to write about something which will get viral. So I'm out of Twitter now. So then I realized that I can be very engaged constructively on perhaps LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is a platform where I can talk insights. And I started blogging on LinkedIn. I blog on entrepreneurship. I blog on branding, communication. I blog on retail. And I have got sizable engagement whenever I do that. And it boosts my ego actually, right? So, because that is why we are there on social media. So number one, we need to understand we are not, either we align with this thing. Just for example, Kumar is cut out for Twitter, right? मैं compliment दे रहा हूँ because you raise those issues, right? And you have the insights. Even if I raise the issue, I might not have the insight. तो उस better insight वाला would kill me socially, social media पर, right? So I don't do that. So I make use of LinkedIn and also Instagram, because Instagram is a platform where you can talk a lot, you can create reels, and you can become all CEOs can become thought leader, can discuss छोटी reels बना के they can promote their brand, their business and their ideas, which I do on Instagram. So Instagram and this thing. और Facebook is more of आज I am relaxing, आज चाय पीने का मन होता है. So which is more a friendly, where you know everyone who is connected with you on Facebook. They are personal friends. So these three social media platforms I use. Yep.
So how many of you are on LinkedIn? Of course everybody, right? So Kumar, coming to you. So it's digital world and we need to be digital for sure. I mean, उस पे कोई दो राय नहीं है. So how you to balance out the things, keeping digital detox in mind, or when we talk, I travel or many people are saying कि Indian में civic sense नहीं होता है. So I keep on saying कि कुछ लोगों को पता नहीं इसको civic sense बोलते हैं. Like many people doesn't know what is digital detox even. So how you measure that you fall in a trap और वहाँ से बाहर कैसे आना है, and which are the medium, which are the ways you can use it, और जो लोग ट्विटर यूज नहीं करते आपकी तरह उसको कैसे बढ़ाना है.
सो एक चीज़ होता है डूम स्क्रॉलिंग. किसको पता है डूम स्क्रॉलिंग क्या होता है? डूम स्क्रॉलिंग, हाँ. सो डूम स्क्रॉलिंग इज लाइक keep on doing it, and because the algorithm, again, these are different platforms and they cater to a different set of audience, and the kind of algorithm looks at what you are searching, what kind of a content you are consuming, and then they keep bombarding such kind of information.
I want to add here. So I keep on saying many of my friends, मेरी बीबी से ज़्यादा इंस्टाग्राम मुझे जानता है क्योंकि वो राइट रील्स मुझे भेजता है, व्हाट दिमाग में चल रहा है, व्हाट डिस्कशन हो रहा है. सो आई एग्री विथ योर पॉइंट.
So again, doom scroll. I think most of the problem with digital detox is also coming because we are aimlessly consuming information, and right now we are also in a time where there's a lot of information overload, है ना? And we are also seeing a surfing generation because, like for example, I think most of us who are present here are digital immigrants, है ना? I was not born when internet was there, है ना? Most of us, है ना? So we are digital immigrants. We came from a generation who used to go to library and then we have started using internet. But right now the current generation, they are born in internet, they surf internet, they live internet. So for them, it's a different ball altogether. And of course, they understand these platforms much better way than what we are doing. So coming back to digital detox, the one thing is that doom scrolling is one of the things which we consume a lot of information, and we tend to get into it because again algorithms reads you and starts putting that kind of a content. So one thing is that you also have to get hang of that algorithm, that how you can confuse the algorithm, so you don't fall for what they are pushing, and what kind of content you would like to see. So of course, by looking at subscribing to something, they will start changing it. एक month में ये आपने ये किया, दूसरे month में ये किया. They're always confused, है ना? So you will get diverse kind of a content on your handle. So that is about doom scrolling and about Instagram. In terms of like LinkedIn, and I think I like Nadeem bhai also, I moved from Twitter to more towards LinkedIn because I think it has much more powerful, especially the sector which we represent and the sector which we were like. Today here I met a very senior guy and he remembered my last LinkedIn post. I feel very happy, like boosting my ego that he remembered my last LinkedIn post. So again, so LinkedIn is a platform where you can really present yourself and I engage with the right set of audience. And of course, I get a lot of projects through LinkedIn because the kind of content I post, they appreciate and then we engage. So again, it depends upon how you very smartly thinking about how much time on which platform you want to share, you want to give, looking at what kind of a career or what kind of profession you are in. So that is one thing, that how you channelize those things. The other thing is also now these days brands are now getting into more into active engagement. So if you look at earlier the content part or some trends, which used to be very, very static. Now these days trends are like dancing trends. So there are a lot of brands who are getting into active engagement. So their idea is how audience can be engaged doing something. So in that sense, they are trying to change that algorithm. Coming back to Facebook, I think Facebook, I think we have all stopped using Facebook, and because everyone is there, and especially the Gen Z, so they have a stop. They have many of them don't have an account of Facebook, and they started with Snapchat and Instagram. So that thing has also changed. Coming back to what I have been doing, like for example, recently I went to a trip for almost 10 days, and 10 days is a very difficult time because I was not tweeting anything. I was not posting any images, but those were very best days of my life because again, I enjoyed with my family, with my kid. So very much focused in that kind of interaction. Because generally when we go out, we tend to post pictures. So sometimes also you have to have a self-control, self-regulation. And the best part that I was in an area where there's a poor connectivity. So how much I tried, it was being failed. So in that ways, I think we have to do certain kind of things and find certain time where we can keep mobile away. Like other thing which we also have started doing, that we don't like a no policy of having mobile phone in the bedroom. So mobile phone has to be in the hall, another room, but it should not go into the bedroom. So that kind of a thing which we can.
कौन मोबाइल रूम में नहीं होगा तो?
नहीं वो तो जग जाता हूँ. Yes.
So I agree with you. A couple of things. What I started detoxing things. So I'm also active on LinkedIn. So what I started, I schedule my all the posts during weekends, Friday, Saturday, में, not Sundays. So I stop using laptops and everything on Sunday. Internet use करता हूँ, घर पे Wi-Fi है वगैरह.
LinkedIn gives a feature to schedule your posts.
Things.
Yes.
So I try to schedule posts mostly, if possible, during Friday, Saturdays. Next week का पूरा मैं schedule करके रखता हूँ. So that helps me a lot. Saturday generally we as IT companies time हमारे पास employees office आते नहीं, forcefully छुट्टी देना ही होता है, 5 days week होता है. We have plenty of time to do that. So I think for next week क्या क्या होने वाला and all that stuff, and based on that I should draft the content and schedule it. So that will save your time. हाँ फिर वो होता है कि रोज आधे घंटे में देखना पड़ेगा कितना engagement आया. That is different story, but that is there. So this is one more thing you can do it, and of course you go to area where no networks are there. That is the best one. नहीं वो नहीं कर सकते, वो बजट नहीं देखते हैं. तो दिक्कत हो जाएगा. So as we are coming into the session, ma'am, if you can share some practical tips. You already shared a couple of them, but still, if you have some.
I have a question with ma'am.
Please.
Like for example, in terms of professionals, so what kind of people, do they have a specific background who are coming and having an issue, or all sectors you see or witnessing?
It's not about profession, but yeah, we had a time when we had a lot of journalists coming to us. Second lot of people who came was like students of engineering, because they have a lot of computer thing which is part of their studies. So in young population, if we talk about, most of them were either from engineering background, IT sector. Third kind of people which we had coming from were corporate world, most of them coming from banking sectors, where it was a pressure to answer the email. That has led them to this addiction ki phone check karna hi padega, otherwise there is a pressure to reply. So these are the people we have, but I think all kind of people can be addicted to.
Do you see a spike happening?
Yes, after COVID, there's a big spike, because it has become a main source of, like, you may forget a phone, wallet. You do not forget a phone.
In fact, after COVID, people like us, I stopped using DTH. अभी मेरे पास सभी वही, Hotstar से लेके Netflix से लेके सब. So I stopped using DTH. तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि people are on internet.
Yeah. So it's not. It has become a main source of communication, education, entertainment. Everything is available on phone. Yeah. It's
in your hand.
So I just wanted to comment on, you said that children are netizens now. So like I'm just sharing a story. My daughter is in second MBBS, and it was her first posting in pediatrics. When she went to ward, every child in the ward was watching Aha Tamatar Bade Mazedar. so, so even in hospitals, I mean, it's everywhere.
So in fact, we as a digital agency work with many companies. So one of the client was educational, one of the premium school of Ahmedabad, and they want to have a campaign for the pre-primary section lead generation campaign. What we did is simply we just ran ads between the rhymes, smart TVs and mobile phones, and after the admissions we got a feedback 45 to 48% admission just via YouTube rhymes. We ran only ads on rhymes. And that shows I seen couple of kids, they are having specs. I say, इसको कैसे? I mean 4-5 साल का बच्चा है, जैसे पूरा दिन मोबाइल देखना है, rhymes देखना है, तो ये होना वाला है. So we reached to that level. I mean, it's alarming call for us.
Yeah. Also, like, have you ever thought, like, mindlessly we have started using phones over even in red signals. So, yeah. So it's a dangerous practice. We are not, yeah. We are not talking about those young people who are, taking dangers, a risk for making reels. That's a different population which is also risky. But people like us, who are, very saying that we are very educated, very much can control. But even we do not control that impulse of seeing something on phone while we are on red light.
So yes. I mean, and I seen many people who are while driving 4-wheelers. सबके गाड़ी में ब्लूटूथ होता है. Why don't they connect their phone on Bluetooth and talk? But वो हाथ में लेके ही बात करना है. ऐसा exactly. एक हाथ से चलाओगे आप. So it is too risky. So one things I adopted, I started using listening podcast while driving. So that saves time, distraction कम होता है और रेडियो की तरह एड्स आते हैं तो इरिटेशन भी नहीं होता. आई एम यूजिंग यूट्यूब प्रीमियम तो एड्स नहीं आते. हाँ, नॉलेज भी बढ़ता है. सो दैट इज़ वन टिप. नॉट डिटॉक्स, यू माइट इंक्रीज योर नॉट स्क्रीन टाइम बट लिसनिंग टाइम, क्योंकि आपका फोकस तो ड्राइव पे रहेगा, बट यू कैन कंज्यूम गुड कॉन्टेंट. सो दैट वन प्रैक्टिस आई डिड इट. नदीम, मैं कमिंग टू यू. सो what suggestion you, as you say, you focus more on LinkedIn and few things. So what are the other things entrepreneur can adopt to detoxify themselves plus business पे भी impact नहीं होगा?
No, I think in the last question I said what I normally do. So I think I'll repeat the same thing. We are saying that we will not completely unplug from the social media, because that is, social media consumption is too high and it's a big risk if we are not there. So we need to first figure out the right platform which aligns with our personality, where we can add value by writing something, by maybe sharing something. So in our case, mostly it's LinkedIn, but there might be few others like Instagram also or anything else. So which I do on a regular basis. And it's also a source of knowledge there, because I listen to LinkedIn, I read lots of blogs there written by experts from the industry. So I think, yes, I do these things, and I think as a CEO, as the head of the organization, this is what we all can do to not completely detox, but yes, detox to a certain extent.
So to summarize, I think email, ERP and LinkedIn, that's it.
I think so, yes.
So as a CEO or as a head of the things.
No, so there is WhatsApp also, and there are various WhatsApp groups also where we find most of the time 4 लोग लड़ते हैं और 2 लोग निकल जाते हैं. So उसमें we can't help because we sometimes we are forced to be the part of that WhatsApp group. तो उसको mute कर देना चाहिए.
So that I mean, so
that is the only way we can do it, right?
So many of my sessions when I'm taking in college, kids are asking कि senior citizen होते ही नहीं इंटरनेट पे, उसको टारगेट कैसे कर सकते हैं. मैंने बोला आप व्हाट्सएप खोल के देख लो, सबसे ज़्यादा सीनियर सिटीजन आपको भेजेंगे फॉरवर्ड्स. सो दे आर ऑलरेडी यूजिंग इंटरनेट, बट आई डू द सेम, म्यूट कर देता हूँ वो ग्रुप्स को. कुमार, कमिंग टू यू, इफ यू कैन गिव सम प्रैक्टिकल टूल्स वो हेल्पफुल टू डिटॉक्सिंग द थिंग्स like digital wellness is which is default, but उसके अलावा कुछ है. जैसे I started using इंस्टाग्राम पे मेरा 2 घंटा ही मेरा मैक्स है, उसके बाद लॉक हो जाएगा. वन आई स्टार्टेड यूजिंग बैड टाइम, 10:30 के बाद मेरा मोबाइल ब्लैक एंड वाइट ग्रे शेड हो जाएगा. बहुत बार मैं उसको अंडू कर देता हूँ, दैट डिफरेंट स्टोरी, बट दैट गिव्स मी रिमाइंडर कि अभी बस मोबाइल बंद करना है, सो जाना है, काइंड ऑफ.
iOS, Android में तो फीचर्स काफ़ी सारे आ गए हैं विच यू कैन डू, बट देर आर वेरी पॉपुलर एप्स कॉल्ड फॉरेस्ट, मोमेंट, एक है काम करके है. देर आर दीज वेरी पॉपुलर iOS एंड Android. कुछ पेड हैं, कुछ फ्री है, विच इफ़ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड यू कैन यूटिलाइज एंड सी हाउ इट इम्पैक्ट्स यू. बट बेसिकली मेरे को ये लगता है डिजिटल डिटॉक्स में यू हैव टू take a step back and think how much time you are spending and where those times are getting spent on and whether it is adding value to you or your profession or your career. If you are very particular about it, you will start taking your own decisions, your own ways to channelize that energy. That's the only way to do it. And of course, as I think even Nadeem bhai mentioned, that I have also removed some of the apps on my mobile phone, because if I have to go to Facebook, I ideally go on, log on the laptop. So that way, if there is something which you can access on laptop, so don't keep on your mobile phone, because it tend to go and check what's happening there. Twitter I keep on mobile phone because it's most convenient for me to go and engage
I was
there.
about to ask, ट्विटर कब लैपटॉप से कर रहे हो?
Time लगेगा.
So to add to what Kumar said, one thing I did, I stopped notification for almost all app. So only which is required, email है, ट्विटर मुझे भी चाहिए, लिंक्डइन चाहिए. So उसका कुछ चीज़ों का है एटलीस्ट 10 और 11 ऑड्स ऐप उसका नोटिफिकेशन रहता है, बाकी सबका नोटिफिकेशन बंद है. स्टिल माई स्क्रीन टाइम इज़ हाई.
Also gives you a chance and option. The only thing that you have to go and look at their picture, because they also understand, and that's why even they are trying to find quality time, quality people coming on the platform, spending good time. So they are also introducing a lot of these features which ideally should be explored.
And whatever tools you use, like Instagram, Twitter, so that designed by neuroscientists. So the idea is to keep you engaged, or idea is to, like Kumar said, doom scrolling. आप endless करते जाओ, जैसा binge watching करते हैं Netflix वगैरह पे. So this is the idea, and that is designed by very knowledgeable person who understand our brain, how brain works, how brain में short circuit कैसे करना है, etc. etc. So they understand very well, and they design the algorithms. And that is why, as I said, कि बीबी से ज़्यादा Instagram को पता है हमें क्या चाहिए. So that is there. So this is how we as a human, or we as a person, we need to understand कि ये हमें समझ रहा है, तो how to overcome, like Kumar said, कि उसको confuse करना है हमें, तो उसको कैसे confuse कर सकते हैं, that ways we need to find. And this is how we should try to doing digital detox. I am not saying कि 100% हमसे हो जाएगा, but we need to take that direction. So थोड़ा जाके कुमार को जैसे हम 400 से 100 पे लेके आए ट्वीट्स में मिल के. And this is how, and I'll still suggest कि you should start using professional platform like blogs or LinkedIn, etc. Kumar and I both are LinkedIn top voice. So that help us to brag the things, that help us to gain the business. क्योंकि when we meeting our potential client पूछते आपको क्या आता है, and we say we are LinkedIn top voice, तो आधा काम वैसे हो जाता है. So this is how, if you are consistent on those platform, if you are doing this, so detox करने की ज़रूरत नहीं होगी, because you are able to invest your time in right audience, right platform, etc. But if you are spending more time on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, और काम के वीडियो नहीं देख रहे, आप ऐसे ही स्क्रोलिंग कर रहे हो, so that may eat up your time, and there is no productivity. So we need to find fine line, which is very difficult to find. I mean, ma'am, she is professional, so she can find us, but people like us, it's very difficult for us to find midline. But the idea is we should try to achieve those things. With this remark, if you want to say, speaker, anything else, or we can conclude the session. Please, ma'am.
I have this question for Dr. Deepti. Two questions actually. One is that have you seen a correlation between people who are too dependent on social media and any personality disorders? I'm asking this question because I'm a psychologist myself. So that's one question. And the other thing is that since do you think, because many of us here in this forum are also employers, do you think that employers keep a check on identifying people who are highly dependent on or who probably are too dependent on digital media and too involved in resource in it. Do you think there should be some initiative on that?
Yes. So those who are employer, please, at your home with your children, maybe your family, and in your office, look for the signs of addiction. Like someone who is using phone or any screens for more than 5 hours, then someone who is unnecessarily becoming irritated, maybe depressed, anxious, having some issues related to the self-confidence, and who has an urge to post something now and then. So all these are signs of digital addiction, and it's not good for your company's health also if someone is unhealthy through the mind. So, and the help is available everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of things online available which can be done, and there are a lot of psychiatrists like me who are available everywhere. So they can help them to get out of it. So look for the signs of digital addiction whenever possible. Regarding the first question, right now we haven't studied scientifically any correlation, but yes, those personalities like who are more impulsive, like histrionic personalities, they tend to have more digital addictions rather than some persons who are of type A personalities. But right now what we are studying is like cyberbullying. We are doing a study on cyberbullying. How does it affect the people's mind? So what is the ratio of depression and anxiety in those people who are the victims of cyberbullying? And the second study what we are doing is effect of binge watching. So how does that affect the sleep, the quality of studies and work? So these are the two major studies that we are doing at our center, and probably by next 6 months we'll be able to complete the data gathering, and then probably will come with the results. But right now what we are seeing is like the effect of binge watching is really bad. Primarily looking at the data, it greatly affects the quality of sleep and the work on the next day. So these are the two things that we are studying right now.
Regarding
binge
you
watching
mentioned
is
about the
advisable
employee.
on Saturday.
So I know there's a startup in Bangalore, and what they do, they basically analyze the social media profiles of their prospective employee. And one of the insight which she shared with me is that, like for example, if a person is a solo traveler, or if a person is a solo motorbike, and if they are posting a lot of these contents, and if a company is looking for a team person, so that person is not a right fit. So they are now reaching to that particular level. We are using AI tools and everything to map out these datas and start create profile for these individuals. And then they start a matching. Which kind of profile will be suitable for what kind of a role. So that thing is already happening at different level.
There's also Hello Soda for that matter. Hello
Okay.
Soda also does that, which kind of maps what time, what you have mapped, and what are you liking, how are you commenting on posts, LinkedIn, that.
It's called Hello Soda.
Hello Soda. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Bonnie.
I have a question for Deepti ma'am. So I was listening to a podcast. It's basically of someone in UK, and again the podcast is on Live Better, and there was a discussion about the policy that the UK government is trying to bring in the schools, and the whole topic was around not having mobiles for the children up till the age of 13, because until they reach adolescence, then it's a good time then they can have a mobile. So. Not sure, like, is there anything, such discussion happening in the government right now in India where we are talking about, bringing such policies of controlling?
No, I mean, it's not happening. It's not happening at policy level, but we are recommending that. I mean, I have not given a phone to my child until she passed 12th. So at least 18 years. And if you have read, most of the big IT companies owners, they do not give phone to their child. So,
But there's a flip side.
yeah.
There's a flip side to that. We see a lot of very extreme level of incidents of young children committing suicide just because their friend had mobile, but they were deprived of doing that.
So that,
Complexities.
yeah, this complexity is very complex situation, but you need to talk to them. Communication is the key. That why this is needed and why we are not giving this. So that communication is very necessary. Otherwise, these kind of unfortunate things happen.
Well, nowadays, most of the assignments are coming on the phone. Everything is
A laptop. You can ask them to use laptop.
Laptops.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's a devil. I mean, schools are becoming, have come up with apps. Everything is on the app now, but I have still given them laptop, but not the
Or
phone.
try to find old-fashioned schools.
And if you get a chance, then please influence that in the future.
Sure,
I
definitely.
think it's a big thing, like the way it influences children right from the age 3, it's like
It's very bad. Yeah.
No, even the parents have to be blamed for it because
absolutely. No, it's a both.
It's
But there is a
silent with the mobile, so give the mobile to the child.
Yeah,
Even if the child is 1.5-year old.
But COVID has changed the narrative.
game.
So before that, the phone was not necessary in the schools.
Yes, sir.
Madam, I have a question. What is the thing that children listen sometimes to parents, okay, I promise I will not say. I'll take it for 1 hour, 10 minutes or whatever. When a consistency, 2 days, 3 days happen, 4 days happens. But next thing again we see, it happens to the same group. So how to change that pattern to consistency?
So for that, there are few psychological things like you can apply. Just say, if your child gets very good marks, what do? You give something. So you can use that star chart method. That if for consistently 1 week, if you're not doing this, you're not using phone, you'll have a phone time on Sunday for this much time. So you can do it gradually like that. But it is difficult. It's like, ups and downs aate rahenge. Just don't give up. Thank you.
Please, sir.
Lovely session. I think again, as I said in my last closing remarks for the legal and IP, that we have experts who are actually giving you free opinions and free advice. I think what we need to do is make the most out of this, and this is what GESIA tries to do all the time, to bring the ecosystem together, bring in the experts, talk about the elephant in the room, because we all know it's there, but we don't want to talk about it. And I think one takeaway for me as a parent is we need to walk the talk. Before we start disciplining our children, we need to discipline ourselves. And I think very conveniently, I could see the discussion drifting towards children rather than saying, how can I detox? I mean, the change begins with me. Okay, so I think anything, whether it's organizations, whether it's our families, we got to be the torch bearers ourselves. We need to implement it ourselves, and then you'll probably see things falling in place. So it's like, saying that if I'm an entrepreneur, I come late and I want my team to come on time. Not done. Not done. We'll have reasons, we'll have very logical reasons to come late, because we've got our skin in the game, but again, we got to walk the talk. You got to be demonstrating what your expectations are from the employees or children or family. So I think thank you so much. It's been a lovely session, and I think enough in more ways which you've shared with us, and clearly my takeaway is very clear today. Thank you so much.